Welcome to Ring the Damn Bell. Of course, I am KG, and my co-host is the wrestling enthusiast, Mark. What's going on, my man?
Not much, brother, not much.
Cool. So, of course, we have some news to talk about real quick. Let's start off with, can you smell what The Rock is cooking? No, we can't, because of course The Rock has not been on WWTV in quite a bit. But we have some news regarding what The Rock had to say about him in WWE right now. He said that he is taking every opportunity he gets to return to WWE. While speaking with Lab Bible for a new interview, The Rock commented on his future with the company, joining the TKO board of directors earlier this year and more. On his future with WWE, he said, any opportunity I can to go back and to and not only make appearances, but help to expand the company, whether domestically or globally, I will always go back. It's also part of my obligation that I happily do. On joining the TKO board of directors, he also said that I came along in the 90s and wrestled for Vince into the 2000s. So there's some real connective tissue that goes back generations. And for that, I will forever be grateful because it's provided me a platform and a way to express myself in ways that nothing else would allow other than acting. So the opportunity for me to become a director, sit on the board, take that position is just another way that I could help the company grow. In my opinion, that was nothing but fucking word salad. Didn't give us any real information whatsoever.
He's practicing his political career.
Pretty much. Now, next news we have is about Mercedes Monet, or as I call her, the biggest disappointment in AEW. Sorry, that's my opinion. On why she signed with AEW. During a recent interview with Uproxx, Mercedes Monet commented on returning to the ring with AEW, why she decided to sign with Tony Khan's promotion. She said that it's really just leading with gratitude. Thankful to be a part of this wrestling community still. The last year was the craziest year of my whole life, not knowing where I was going to be in wrestling, but leading with gratitude and staying positive. On signing with AEW, she said that she knew where I wanted to be and what I wanted to leave in professional wrestling, to take this women's division to whole new heights all over the world. I wanted to have more for women's wrestling, so I knew going to AEW was the place to be to make that happen. I feel like the women's division has really changed the game. The women's division has been the best it's ever been. The women's storylines are headlining AEW pay-per-views. So it's just been amazing to come this far. And I'm really excited for more. Is she fucking drunk? I mean, seriously, not to be a dick, but the women's division at AEW is absolutely they need something, because I wouldn't say that they were leading the headline storylines on pay-per-views. I strongly disagree with that.
She signed for a fat check. Yeah, I'm
Yeah,
sorry.
that's what that again. Only our opinion, folks. Update on, here's the name you haven't heard mentioned in quite a while, Davy Boy Smith. Davy Boy Smith Jr. has confirmed that his contract with AJPW, All Japan Pro Wrestling, will come to an end in January. While speaking on a recent edition of The Big Show with Rusick and Rose podcast, the former WWE superstar announced that his All Japan Pro Wrestling deal is up in a few months. He said, I'll probably be back in Calgary in January when my contract ends and I have to renew my visa and do all that with my residence card from Japan. Calgary, of course, is always home. What's next for Davy Boy Smith? He didn't really go into detail about, but we'll see. I really wouldn't mind seeing Davy Boy Smith in AEW with a pretty good push. I think that's a talent that could really bring a lot to AEW.
Didn't he just win the All Japan Championship?
I thought so, but I mean, his contract's coming to an end. So if he did, he's not going to be holding that very long if he hasn't dropped it already. Ricky Starks in AEW. During a recent interview with Joe Roderick of Plabs Online, AEW wrestler Ricky Starks confirmed that he's still under contract with AEW after making an appearance at Glory Pro Wrestling last month. On how he ended up to appear at Glow Pro appearance or Glory, he said, "Well, I can't be stuck at home too much longer. I go stir crazy. I saw an opportunity with Cody Lane to come out and challenge for the title, of course. I thought it was even a better idea because I used to actually live in St. Louis. I used to live in Melville, of all places. So I thought it was a good way to make a return. And also, too, I've known Cody for quite a bit. He used to train here in Texas. He said, he also said, well, why not? Why not just come back and test the grit against somebody that I'm very much familiar with? Besides talking about him still being under contract for AEW, he didn't go any further to say if there was any potential return or what's happening with that. It's a very interesting situation with Ricky Starks because I think Ricky Starks should have added a lot to AEW. I think that at times they gave him small pushes, but at the same time, I don't think they utilized him as much as they should have. I think he is a great talent. I think that he's gotten better on the mic over time. And I think that Ricky Starks could actually be the future of professional wrestling. Too many times we also like to talk about people like MJF when we also should be talking about people like Ricky Starks.
I think Ricky Starks is on the mic is just right behind MJF. You know,
Right, right.
I, I don't understand it. Ricky Starks is another one that's a great talent. He borders on that 205 weight class. So I'm not extremely high on that, but he pulls off a believable role when he gets in the ring.
Right. And, it's the same thing we say time after time when we're talking about AEW and the booking. Tony Khan does not have a clue about what the fuck he's doing. I mean, I've literally seen people actually say that he is the best booker in professional wrestling. And I'm like, what world do you live on? Because
I
if
think
he was
he's
the
right.
best booker in professional wrestling, then NXT would not be fucking blowing them away in ratings because they have all the talent in the world to at least beat NXT. I'm not saying that they could beat a Raw SmackDown, but they could be beating NXT. He has the talent there, but because Khan does not know what he's doing, of course, they're not. So
Yeah, but to be fair, I think Tony Khan's listening to other people too. I don't think he's making all these decisions himself. And I think he's getting steered in the wrong direction to some degree.
but that's a Tony Khan problem.
Yeah,
That's
it
his
is.
fucking company, right?
It
He
is.
is responsible. At the end of the day, I don't care who he's listening to. At the end of the day, it falls on him on what decisions he should be making. This is why, again, he should have creative there. And I've heard rumors that there was a couple of people there creative. He needs to have better fucking creative if that's the case.
Yep.
So, but yep, let's get to the recap of Friday Night SmackDown.
Well, hold on real quick.
It
I
was
did
a
see something.
decent show.
Hold on. I did see something about Vince Russo saying that Triple H is going to be gone by 20 or sometime in 2025.
Yeah, I've heard that, and Vince Russo is a douchebag. Sorry, and Vince Russo sometimes doesn't know a hole of ground from from an asshole, from his asshole. So I don't put in a whole lot of what Vince Russo has to say. I don't. I can barely listen to him talk in any podcast because every fucking word is fucking bro, bro, bro. He's a fucking bro douchebag. Again, my opinion, everybody. If you
I
like
just
him,
want
then like him. I don't like him. But one other quick thing. Apparently, NXT is saying that they want both Roman Reigns, Cody Rhodes, and CM Punk on Raw when they go to Netflix in January. Are we going to see once again where wrestlers, they could be in both brands? Are they going to have another what do they call? They do it every so often.
where they
A
switch.
draft.
Yeah.
But this is the thing. There, I have to believe that they're going to allow their talent at that point, their top talent, to go whatever brand they need them on, because there's no way that you can have Roman Reigns, Cody Rhodes, and CM Punk on Raw and not have them at all on SmackDown.
No, I'm
I
pretty,
think that they're smarter than that.
USA will stop that.
Yeah, I have to believe that. But anyway, yeah, let's get to the recap of SmackDown. Like I said, I think it was an okay show. I give it a solid B.
For
I knew it.
nostalgic and whatnot, I'll give it a solid B.
Oh shit, we agree on it. Okay,
Yeah.
okay.
All
First
right.
time for everything.
It, it comes from Buffalo.
Yeah.
It
Mark,
starts out with the new blood.
oh, I'm sorry. Time out for a second. I need to make this announcement. If you guys have not watched it, please check my interview out with Baby Doll. Um, you know, way back in the day, actually spoke to Baby Doll on MySpace. That's how long ago it was. There was I can't remember if it was Ric Flair or Tully Blanchard, but someone was in the hospital sick. And just out of a taking a chance, not knowing if she'll respond to me or not, I sent her a message on Facebook. I mean, on MySpace, and she responded to me. So I knew that she was pretty nice, and we've spoken again. But I tell you, speaking to her during this interview, she is probably the nicest, most humble legend that I have spoke to. And look, Magnum TA, he was a class act. He was very humble as well. But there's just something about Baby Doll, and I really enjoyed the interview. There's a lot of things because I fucked up the time. She's an hour ahead of me, and I forgot about that. So we were limited on time, but it was still a great interview, and I really enjoyed our talk. Please go check that out. And again, subscribe to my YouTube channel, our YouTube channel. And we've gotten actually 2 new subscribers. So thank you for subscribing and following us. I know you're a busy man, Mark. By chance, did you have the chance to check out the interview?
I caught part of it. I haven't caught all of it yet.
What are your thoughts on it thus far?
You know what? I love Baby Doll. She could sit in a house and I'd be waiting patiently for her to get out. I love Baby Doll. That's a crude analogy, but I love Baby Doll. I always thought she filled her role, whatever role it was with, whether it was Tully or with Dusty or Rick. She always added so much more to the segment, whether it was wrestling or an interview. She was just phenomenal. I
Yeah,
could
and hey guys, look, if you guys want to follow me on Facebook, um, you can follow me. I think I'm going. My name's actually Kevin. My page is actually KG Landry. Landry spelled Landr. I often post news things on my Facebook page, cool videos from back in the day, and today I actually posted. It has been um 30 years ago, 39 years ago, where the feud actually started with Megan TA, Tully Blanchard, and Baby Doll. 39 years, November of 1985. But there's a cool video on my page that I posted of it, thanks to the NWA Wrestling Memories. Got to mention them. And as well, I also have a Ring the Down Bell Facebook page, which is the initials to Ring the Down Bell, RT DB. You can find me on Facebook, and as well the same videos I usually post on that as well. So find me on social media, guys. I would love to know who's following us, and please subscribe to the YouTube channel because my goal, I have a goal, and that is within a year and a half to 2 years, my wife and I will actually be selling everything. Our kids will be old enough. We're getting an RV and we're going to be traveling. And one of the things we're going to be doing, or while my wife is at in the trailer doing whatever, because she doesn't like professional wrestling, I'm going to be going to catching all the professional wrestling shows. I'm going to be following them around and doing live podcasts. But the only way I can really do it is if I get my subscriptions up to a certain amount. So help me reach that goal. Please subscribe to my YouTube channel so you guys can enjoy this and view it and see the things that I'm seeing live. Now let's get back to the recap.
Okay, so anyways, SmackDown's taking place at Buffalo. Starts out with a recap of New Blood at Crown Jewel with Solo pinning Roman. All right. Then we come to Roman and Jimmy coming to the ring, then Jay, and then Sammy. Sammy made a good pitch about helping him out. You know, apologized about the kick pretty much. Said it wasn't intentional. I got to give Roman credit. You know, at one point, Sammy was talking about how good of a feeling it was to be back with them guys, whatnot. And, you know, he said Jimmy felt it, Jay felt it, and he said Roman felt it. He says, look, you're smirking. I got to give Roman credit. He didn't break. He almost broke, but he didn't break. I give him credit for that. Uh,
Yeah, but this is the problem. This remember a couple of podcasts ago, I said that if they go down this direction, it's going to be the very same storyline that it was last time with Sami Zayn, and that is, do they trust me? Right? Sammy told Roman Reigns that if he wanted them back together, that he had to apologize. And of course, Roman, it was led to believe that he needed to apologize to Sammy. He said, no, you have to apologize to Jay. Roman then looked at Jay and said, I am sorry for wasting my time talking to Sami Zayn. He's not family. Why are we wasting our time with this? It's the same basic storyline. I really hope at the end of the day, because we're going to talk about where this ended up at. I hope that the difference is going to be Sami Zayn is really going to turn on the Usos, on Roman, and of course, join with Solo. Because if not, again, you're just repeating the same shit. So far, I don't like it.
so Roman turns down Sammy's help and he says, I'm out here to call out Solo. So he calls out Solo. Jacob Fatu comes on the big screen, says Solo will come out on his own time, and Roman can acknowledge that. Then we go to Roman and Jimmy backstage, and Jay walks in. A little bit of a squabble, and it kind of fades out to a commercial. All right, then we go to Bailey versus Candice LeRae.
Well, hold on a second. Let's not forget, though, during that squabble, you had both Jimmy and Jey Uso walk away from him.
Yeah,
Roman Reigns, yeah, Roman Reigns told Jimmy that if he wanted to be with Sammy so much, then go ahead and fight him. Jay said, this is your one pass, dude. I told you wasn't going to talk to me like that. He walked away. Then Jimmy said, Roman, what are you doing, man? And Roman told Jay, go find your brother. And Jay walked away and left Roman Reigns alone. Now, I tell you, I really thought that just maybe we was going to see the return of Paul Heyman um, last night as that wise man, because one thing I think they're also doing is they're Roman's conflicted and he's without his wise man. So I'm really thinking that this is also setting up that return for Heyman. so Heyman could kind of get that glue that get them all back together by giving Roman Reigns the much needed advice that he needed. But like I said, I really thought that maybe last night was going to be the night.
Yeah, I kind of thought that for a minute too, but I think if they're going to save it for Survivor Series, and that'll be the tipping point of the match, provided Sammy doesn't turn on Solo, and maybe that'll still happen, or excuse me, Sammy turning on Raymond,
Right.
and maybe
Roman.
that happen. Maybe Sammy will turn, and then Paul will come out, and then I'll get the win. You know,
Yeah.
so I don't know. We'll see. Time will tell. We'll know in 3 weeks. So, anyways, Bailey versus Candice LeRae. Uh, and I got a kick out of this for some reason. As a reminder, SmackDown is brought to you by Golden Corral. I don't know why that got me, but it just got me. I don't know why.
Maybe because
anyways,
of your, a lot of your career has been managing, and you managed a certain restaurant that had a buffet in it. So, hey.
well, I actually worked for Golden Corral for a bit too. So, anyways, during the match, Candice LeRae fakes an injury, tries to sneak a pin, but Bailey gets the pin. Actually wasn't a bad match. I'm not high on Candice LeRae. I think her little poison fairy thing is lame. But if it works for her, so be it.
Yeah, and this is the thing. Um, you pretty much know that if Candice LeRae is wrestling basically against anybody that's in that top tier with within professional wrestling with WWE, Candice LeRae is going to lose. And knowing that a couple of weeks ago we seen that big surprise of Candice LeRae actually pinning Bailey, you know damn well that they're not going to do that anytime soon again. So yes, the match was good. I liked it. At the same time, there was not that suspense of can Candice LeRae pull this off again.
Right. So, anyways, then we go backstage with Johnny Gargano with Motor City Machine Guns, and I guess Johnny's got a history with these guys.
Yeah, yeah. Well, yeah. Don't forget, because Gargano was with TNA.
No, I didn't know that.
Yeah, yeah. As
Oh, I
far
didn't.
as I know, fans, I could be wrong. Please send me a message, in the comments or when you guys watch this and correct me. But I think, but at some point though, in the independent scene, they did meet one another
Oh yeah.
because, like you said, he'd known him since he was 19. What I loved about this was his partner,
Yep.
who came out, and this is what I miss about him, right? This aggressiveness. I really hope they bring the Blackheart character back with him because he's just so much better, this aggressive. And look, I'm not even saying turn him heel. He could be this aggressive badass and still be a baby face, right?
Kind of reminds me of Austin.
Yeah,
He
yeah,
really
in a way.
and I actually wrote this in my notes that he kind of reminds me of Austin and Grayson. Um,
Waller,
yeah,
Grace Waller.
yeah, Grayson Waller kind of reminds me of Piper. There was just some clip or some shot of him on the match this night, and I'm like, God damn, he reminds me of Piper. It was just some clip or some shot or angle or whatnot. I'm like, God damn, he could be a Piper, and he really could. I think, but I can see you're laughing so hard, so apparently you disagree with me. And believe me, for me to compare anybody to,
Piper's a big girl.
huh?
Piper's a big girl, and Waller Gracie, or not Waller Gracie, Gracie Waller reminds you of Piper. Were you drunk?
Piper is the bomb in my book. All right, so for me to compare anybody to Piper, that's quite a compliment. But I can
You talk about Rowdy Piper?
Rowdy Piper,
Oh
yes.
shit! I thought you were talking about the
No,
female
Piper,
wrestler. Yeah,
no,
Piper
talking
Niven.
about Rowdy.
Oh, okay, yeah, absolutely. That's why I was laughing.
Oh God, okay, all right. I'm like that far off. You know. All right, so, anyways,
That's what I was wondering. Yeah, Ciampa. I don't like this DIY cheesy Ciampa bullshit. He doesn't. I don't think anyone buys it, including myself. He doesn't have that nice guy look. He just doesn't. You know, if you want to keep him as a baby face, would make him this just aggressive, badass, feared baby face then.
no, he looks like he's ready to pull his belt off and whoop somebody's ass.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So yeah, so this is why I like this segment, backstage segment, is because of Ciampa has decided he's had a fuck enough, and he wants his belt back, and he's going to do what it takes. But unfortunately, I do think that DIY is going to split up here soon, and that Ciampa and Gargano is going to have a run with Ciampa being the heel. But when Gargano and Ciampa feuded in NXT, that was one of the best feuds NXT has ever had.
Yep.
I mean, the matches were great. Everything about it. I loved everything about it.
It's Johnny Gargano. Johnny Gargano's great, but it elevates him so much more when him and Ciampa fight.
Yeah. Yeah.
So next we go to, let's see, Randy comes out to the ring, calls out KO. They try to stop KO. KO ends up giving Randy a really pathetic looking pile driver, to be honest. But
let me stop you right there for a second. Did you know? Because according to Michael Cole, the pile driver has been banned for many years. Now, correct me if I'm wrong, but the Undertaker's finisher, the Tombstone pile driver.
Yeah. No, from my understanding, they really kind of shy away from the pile driver, which I don't understand. I understand the whole Owen Hart and Austin. That was just a fluke. I mean, I've performed a pile driver on my neighbor, and he walked without a scratch. And I was at the time. All right, it's all about knowing what's going on in the ring and the position of your partner. So yeah, Michael Cole is just telling him or saying what's piped into his ears.
And this is the thing, though. This is the little things that piss me off, because when they do that, it's like they treat professional wrestling fans like we're all stupid. That we all just, oh, well, Michael Cole said that. So we've completely then will forget about The Undertaker, who just retired not too long ago, right? Yeah, I mean, this was terrible part on the back office who decided to tell Michael Cole to say that. Now, they could have said, this is why the power driver isn't used too much, because it is this dangerous move. Cool, I can buy that. But I tell you, Randy Orton really sold it, though. He really sold it.
Yeah. All right. So next we go to Pretty Deadly versus DIY. Ciampa pretty much took these guys out.
As they should have been.
Right.
Because if you think, I'm going to believe for 1 second, these two pretty boys could even beat, Ciampa or Gargano for that matter, you've lost your mind. I'm glad this was a beatdown without Gargano even being tagged.
All right. So then we go to a quick recap of Nia versus Liv. They show Candice runs into Tiffany, then Nia asking about their tag match against the tag champs. And then we go to that match pretty much. Tiffany explaining, well, we want to dominate the women's division with the tag champs. As being tag champs, we dominate the division. Nia pretty much reiterates, I already dominate the women's division.
That was kind of funny, actually.
Yeah, it was. Let's see. So during the match, Candice comes out to interfere in the match. Tiffany gets pissed and says, "We don't need you." Naomi comes out, kind of beats down on Candice LeRae. Bianca pins Tiffany. You know what? I really like Tiffany in this match. I like Tiffany. I think she's got everything going for her. I think she's deceivingly strong. especially in her legs. I There's not really a bad thing I could say about her, to be honest, other than who she's dating. But other than that, I
wait, who's she dating?
Ludwig.
Is she really?
She is.
I hope they don't have kids together. Those won't be attractive kids.
Oh, I don't know. She's an attractive kid.
I don't.
And
I
he's
don't.
got a pretty chiseled face. So,
I do not think that she is that attractive. But this is the thing with Tiffany. What made me laugh about Tiffany was when Naomi came out and she yelled at Naomi, "I don't need your help." Something about that struck me as funny when she said that. Um, I How long do you think that they're going to have Tiffany keep the Money in the Bank briefcase before they finally have her cash it in?
I don't know.
You see, and last night I was thinking, okay, maybe with Jay Cargill being in the match, maybe you would see Nia kind of get beat down a little bit because if anyone could do it, it'd be Jay Cargill, right? And then she would turn, then Tiffany would turn, Tiff would turn on her partner, cash in, and pin her then. Because although I know more than likely they're going to save it for a pay per view, I think it would even be a bigger victory if she done it on a Friday on a TV event like Friday Night Smackdown, because you remember when I'm going by his real name right now, Namath. He just got fired from WWE not too long ago. Blonde hair.
Dolph Ziggler.
Dolph Ziggler. I keep on thinking of. I couldn't think of his name in WWE. I was going. His real name stuck in my head. When Dolph Ziggler cashed in Money in the Bank, I think it was on Raw. It might have been on SmackDown. It was such a bigger deal. But you know what though, Mark? As I'm thinking about it, this was during the time that it was pay-per-views where fans had to pay to see the extra stuff, the pay-per-views, versus now where it's premium, live PLEs, premium live events where it's free if you have Peacock. So maybe it wouldn't be as big, but I still think that not everyone subscribes to Peacock, so maybe it would still be a bigger deal if she cashed in on SmackDown. Just my thought.
Yeah, but then you would have seen 3 title changes in 3 weeks, on TV.
Yeah, and you're right. They got to keep that special.
Yep. So next we go to Pretty Deadly versus. Oh, we took cover that, right? Yep. Sorry. Let's see. A-Town versus Motor City Machine Guns. Good match. Guns win. Um, Again, Grayson Waller, I think, is the next Piper, or this generation's Piper, I guess.
Yeah, I just think that he needs a few little tweaks within his character. But I think those few little tweaks, you're right. I think it could make him this generation Piper. I really do.
Um, Recap of Cody versus Gunther at Crown Jewel. Backstage, Street Profits, Machine Gun or Motor City Machine Guns, and DIY with Street Profits announcing they have the next world title shot, and DIY, well, Ciampa was
Gets
just
pissed the fuck off.
just lit. Then we go to Nick Aldis talking about the women's
Hey,
division.
adjust your camera. I can only see your. There you go. So
All right.
let's stop for a second. I want to go back to the whole thing with KO and Randy Orton because we kind of went off a little bit with the power driver thing. Randy Orton, he appeared, and of course it was kayfabe, to be pretty injured. He was taken out by a stretcher. He kept on holding his neck, saying, "Please be careful." And you seen Cody Rhodes with him. They put him in the ambulance and drove off. Now, the reason why I want to bring that up is I know that they had said that after their last pay per view, that Randy Orton was supposed to be disappearing off TV for quite a while. I really hope that Randy isn't gone for too long, because I think that when a storyline is happening and the talent is going for even a few months, I think that you kind of lose focus or interest on that current storyline. And I think the storyline with KO and Randy Orton is really interesting only because I'm still expecting Randy Orton to turn heel.
You can expect it, but regardless, Randy's going to be cheered.
I think that he is so good that he is capable of drawing out that emotion out of the fans to actually dislike him, to boo him. That's when you know that wrestler is at that next level. When someone is so loved, but then they turn, especially like Randy, he's a legend, and then he's able to turn heel, and he's able to get that emotion out of those professional, out of those fans to actually boo him. And I think Randy is just that good that he could do it.
Yeah, I don't see it. I can see him try and turn him, but I just don't see the fans getting behind it, to be honest. So
We'll see.
Yep. So next we go to Nick Aldis talking about the women's division and
Nope, he froze up.
U.S. heavyweight title from the women's division. Which
Your camera's froze up and I can't hear you.
Sorry, did I fade out?
Yeah, there you are.
All right, sorry. Talking about Nick Aldis introducing the women's U.S. title. I think that's a good move, and I can see them, unless the women's U.S. title is going to be defended on Raw and SmackDown, I can see them introducing an Intercontinental Champion too. But
Yeah,
I have a concern though because I think too many titles diminish the value of the titles. All right, like the Speed Champion, that's totally irrelevant to me. I think AEW is swung.
you faded out again. So until Mark gets back, to his point, I do agree with him. Um, but throughout wrestling history, you've always had the world champion, the U.S. champion, which is
Yep.
usually also considered the TV champion, and then the IC title. Now, the thing with the IC title, for whatever reason, over the years, the IC title has really been held by people who were barely mid carders, in my opinion, until Gunther. I think Gunther elevated that title, but unfortunately, since Gunther dropped that title, it's changed hands a few times now. So hopefully they keep it on. Who has it right now? It's Steiner, huh?
Yep. Brian Breaker.
Brian Breaker, yeah. Hopefully they keep it on Brian for quite a while. Which I haven't seen Brian Breaker on TV. He missed last week. But yeah, hopefully they keep it on him for a while so that that title can continue to be elevated. And I hope that with this championship being introduced to the women's division, that since they're starting from scratch with this, that whoever wins it keeps it and makes it into something important.
Yeah. All right. So next we go to New Blood in the ring. Roman comes out to run. Comes out to ring. Solo requests Roman to acknowledge. Roman doesn't acknowledge Solo. Instead, he challenges him for the tribal chief. Solo says, "Find four to fight with you, and we'll meet up at War Games." Pretty much. Well, Roman says War Games.
Right.
Now I'm at a loss though. Was it? Yeah, it was typically 5-on-5, wasn't it?
It is. So I think that remember last I said that in the news on the last podcast that Lance um the last name's I
Yeah. It's
yeah.
one of the family.
Yeah. So I think that Lance is going to probably be introduced at War Games as the fifth person um for Solo. And then, of course, you have Roman Reigns, the Usos. You have Although with Sami Zayn, so they're still short one on Roman's side as well. So maybe Lance will be introduced for Roman Reigns. I don't know. It's going to be interesting to see the fifth people on both sides who are going to join with the bloodline and the new bloodline. I know you said that you see this going to Survivor Series. I really hope that this comes to an end at War Games and that this moves on to something else. Because I'm having a hard time staying invested in this storyline. I know that you said that you're really not. I'm still kind of, because I found myself last night, kind of, being interested in what was going to happen. I kind of wrote my eyes with the whole Sami Zayn thing, but I want to see where this ends at and what's going to happen next.
Yeah, yeah. Unfortunately, half of the bloodline on both sides are going to be mid carders afterwards. But
I think so, unfortunately, because I mean,
you can only
it,
for so long.
it's funny because AEW has too many factions and WWE hardly has any factions. So when you have two large groups like the Bloodline, who are they going to feud with besides one another? And you can't keep them feuding with one another forever.
Right.
So
So it can only run its course so long.
one of the groups are going to have to break up. That's
Yep.
all there is to it.
Yep.
So, and yeah.
And if you combine, then it's an NWO thing.
Right. So, and yeah, that wraps up Friday Night SmackDown. Real quick, I want to draw the attention to this hat. It's Pinnacle Professional Wrestling. They're out of Minnesota here. That's the promotion that my son and I went and watched last Saturday. They were really good. I'm going to have a couple of their guys on the podcast to interview. Uh, Very entertaining. So by chance, if you're from Minnesota and you see this podcast and you hear Pinnacle Pro Wrestling coming near you, I suggest that you guys go and check them out. Let's support our independent wrestlers because remember, they're the future of professional wrestling. So other than that, Mark, but that is our show.
Station low.
And do you have anything to add?
No.
All right, yep, absolutely. Ring the down bell. And again, remember to subscribe to my YouTube channel. Look for my baby doll interview. Look for the Magnum TA interview that's there. I am working on bringing some more people here. Until then, we will be back on Tuesday to talk about Monday Night Raw. You guys enjoy the rest of your weekend. Until then, you guys have a good one. Have a good one, Mark.
Yep, you too, bud.